we're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and call the April 19th, 2022 Williams County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Beth, can you take roll, please?
Barry?
Here.
Steve is absent. Bo?
Here.
And David?
Here. We have a quorum. We'll proceed. Pledge of Allegiance.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent agenda. What are the wishes of the board?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Motion and second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Barry?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
David?
Yes. Motion carried. I believe we have an update from Williston State College.
Morning, Chair Hansen and Commissioners. Thank you for a couple of moments on your agenda today for me to share some updates on the college. And as you know, on July 1st, it was a bit of a homecoming for me coming back to Williston, having been gone for almost 40 years. I was a student here back in the mid-'80s when Williston State College was a very simple little campus. Had a little dorm down below the hill. Stevens Hall was in its very infancy. And Garvin Stevens was the president at the time. And so almost 40 years later, I was fortunate enough to be selected as the next president and wanted to provide an update today on some things that we have done since July 1st and some projects that we have in the future that we're looking forward to. First of all, let me say thank you to the commissioners for your support of the college. Over the years, you've done a lot for the college. And the college would not be in its current state, which is one of the most pristine and beautiful campuses in the university system, without the support of the county and without the support of the city. So I thank you on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college for that. A couple of quick updates. Front and center is the Crichton project that you are all very connected to through the county. On June 1st, work should begin on remodeling the western half of the Crichton building. Our Adult Learning Center, which is located there now, is going to be relocating to the Western Star building. And then on June 1st, the work is officially supposed to begin with redoing the inside, the outside, with a January of 2023 tentative opening for the center. I'm pleased to say that the committee has selected a provider for the center, and that provider has already started to work. They've done a walk of the facility, and they indicate that probably roughly 100 kids will be able to be serviced or served at that facility. So we're very excited to hear that. And we're looking at some traffic flow plans and everything. And then we're also looking to spruce up the eastern half of the building, which is the high bays for the diesel program, to make that look a little bit more in concert, so to speak, with what the Crichton half or the child care half is going to look like. In addition to that, a couple other quick updates on partnerships. Our nursing program continues to grow and expand at the college. We don't just have the program here in Williston. We've also, for a couple of years now, had it down in Watford City as well as Tioga. And the hospitals in both of those locations have given us space and remodeled part of their hospital for us to deliver and expand that program there. So that's going very well for us. And the other partnership we're looking forward to is the new CTE initiatives in the state. State of North Dakota has offered Watford City and Williston High School $10 million to move forward with CTE construction. And we are also going to be refilling a position that has been empty for a couple of years at the college, and that is our director of CTE at the college. And we're doing that so that we can connect seamlessly to Watford City and to Williston High School in terms of their CTE initiatives and have a seamless transition into the college so their students can continue with us. We're in the very, very early stages of possibly sharing a director position early on until all of our programs grow to a place where they will need their own directors. So stay tuned on that as we move forward. On the sports front, as you know, we currently have 6 sports at the college. This fall, we are adding a 7th sport. As you may have seen in the media, clay target shooting is coming on board. And we're very pleased to say that a former coach at the college, Penny Slagle, is going to be coming on board, coming back to the college, and serving as our coach for our clay target league. Now, on the clay target league, since she coaches at the high school, it is going to be a nice fit for us for her to also coach at the college. So she's able to recruit students for her college program from her high school program. So we're very excited about that. And I think we're looking at probably starting with about 8 to 10 students in this inaugural year for that program. A year down the road from there, we're looking at adding women's hockey to the college. Girls' high school hockey programs are growing like crazy throughout the state and throughout the country. A number of other colleges already have it as a club sport. Botno has it, Mary has it, NDSU has it, UND has it. So we're looking to add that as a club sport initially to mirror our men's hockey program that we have that's ACHA accredited. A couple other quick things. The Sanford Health Initiative that's coming to Williston. We're excited to have been part of 3 meetings over the last few weeks about Sanford Health and their plan to come to Williston. As you may or may not have seen in the media, they are building a 90 to 100,000 square foot clinic. We'll have 85 exam rooms and 40 doctors at full capacity. There's going to be a lot of staff needed for those 40 doctors. Statistics show that on average, each doctor needs 7 support staff to be successful. So we are interested in, and have expressed to Sanford Health that as our desire is Williston State College to be the lead education provider for what is needed to make sure that clinic, when it opens on day 1 at the end of 2024, that they will have all the staff that they need. So we're committed to expanding our medical programs at the certificate and associates level to make certain that they have everything they need at that level. And we've also started conversations already with UND and Dr. Armacost over in Grand Forks for them to bring bachelor's and master's level programs that are needed for this clinic and eventually the hospital that'll be coming after that. So we're going to have a partnership with not just UND but our other 4-year institutions so that we can provide all of the training needed from the very beginning workforce training through our Train ND all the way up to master's level, partnering with our other institutions so that when they open on day 1, they're fully staffed and they're ready to roll and they don't have to delay because the trained workforce is not there. And eventually for that training, we're going to start utilizing our classroom space in the afternoons, evenings, and weekends as much as we can, training to take place in Williston. They do not want to send people to Fargo, Grand Forks, or wherever to be trained because they're probably not going to come back. That's been the history of Western North Dakota, is when they go east, they don't come back. So they want the training to happen here. And it is my responsibility as the leader of Williston State College to do everything I can to make sure that happens here in Williston. And then the last piece that I have is talking a little bit about our scholarships for the college. As you know, for many years there has been a regional scholarship that started with a Williams County scholarship. Elva Field, yes, I always get that name wrong. My apologies to that. Thank you. Started with a scholarship for students so they could attend tuition and fee free for 2 years and get their degree at Williston State College. And that has expanded over the years, and it has now grown, as of today, to include 53 counties. Not just the Alva scholarship, but our regional scholarships as a whole. So we cover everything west of Highway 83 in North Dakota So you draw a line from Bismarck to Minot, South Dakota to Canada, everything west of that line, and then almost halfway between Miles City and Billings would be the western edge. So we cover 53 counties in eastern Montana, western North Dakota, and any student that graduates from a high school at any time in any one of those 53 counties, by applying to Williston State College, will get 2 years tuition and fees fully paid. We've also expanded that to include online students from those 53 counties that may not be able to relocate from Bowman or Hettinger or Bismarck or somewhere like that, but they want a degree from Williston State College. And then also, we have expanded it to include part-time students that intend to complete an associate's degree. So if you're a single mom at home or you're working full-time and you can't go to school full-time during the day, you can go part-time, and as long as you're working toward an associate degree, you can qualify for this. This current fiscal year, we committed $2.6 million of scholarship, Williston or Watford City or Sydney or some of the close schools, but we've got 53 counties to cover. So we hired, through our foundation, 2 full-time positions for 2 full years, fully funded by the foundation, to allow us to have these outreach people go school to school to school, make sure that every high school senior in these 53 counties knows about this scholarship, knows about our programs, and nobody can ever graduate high school and say, I had no idea you had that. So, in a nutshell, that is what we have, that is where we're going, and I will pause and entertain any questions the commissioners may have.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming and giving us an update. Really appreciate it. Sounds like you're going to be fairly busy, so it's lucky we got you before this stuff kicked off. Has anybody got any questions or comments?
Just a comment, I guess, if I will, maybe a question. As Corey said, that you got a pretty aggressive schedule. I'd like to hear your the medical side of it. I guess my question is, I mean, that's long. It's going to be a while. I mean, have you got a written agreement with the Board of Higher Education to stay here until all of this is completed?
I'm on a 3-year contract. That's what the presidents get through the system. And so I'm excited to make this happen. It is a pleasure to be back in North Dakota. I grew up here as a farm kid in the southwest part of the state. I got my associate's degree from Williston, my bachelor's and master's from Minot State. I taught at Turtle Lake High School, and I taught at Mayville State. So 36 years of my life, my first 36 years were invested in North Dakota. And is excited to come back for the interview back in April of last year, and first of all, see the airport that has been built in this area, and then to see the city and how it has grown and evolved. And just the other day, I did a Google search on population growth, and even though the 2020 census had 29,560, the current count is 33,767, and that's added 4,000 in the last 2 years. Projections are to go to 50,000 by 2030. This is needed for that. And I'm excited to be the lead of Williston State College and work with my cabinet, work with the Board of Higher Ed. It's a very early stages of the conversation. Yesterday, I presented to a committee for the Board of Higher Ed. In the spring, I'll present to the, and we'll work hard to find as many dollars as we can to make that happen. And along with those contributions will come naming rights to parts of the building or possibly the entire building as we get to that point. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anything else, guys? Put us on your schedule, because we'd love to hear updates, and especially with news like this, just the simple fact of getting it out into the public, and we love to hear it. So you're going to be plenty busy, but if you can squeeze us in somewhere down the road, we'd appreciate to hear from you again.
My pleasure. My intent is to come to the commission and come to the city council at least once or twice a year minimum to give you updates on this. So thank you again for your time.
Great, thanks for coming.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Department heads, Beth, looks like you're up.
What I have is we found a property that we're going to take for back taxes that was sold to the city of Tioga. And quite a few years ago, in fact, in 2010, it was sold to the city of Tioga. And the people that owned it just kept paying taxes until 2019. Then they thought, well, this is stupid. So I need you to cancel the taxes because the city of Tioga is a tax exempt municipality and they own the property.
Looks like we have a few more policies and procedures from the assessment center.
Yes, I finally had a chance to finish the policies we didn't submit for the shelter care certification, so those are in front of you now to either approve or send back.
Any highlights you want to give us, or are they pretty straightforward?
These ones were pretty straightforward. These ones were maybe a word here or there. The big ones were the ones you had last time, so.
Yeah, I think it should cover just about everything. I was looking through there, it's like, my goodness.
It's a lot of them.
Okay, what are the wishes?
Make a motion to approve the Northwest Youth Assessment Center's policies and procedures.
Second.
Motioned and second, any discussion? Roll call.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey?
Yes, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcia. Any other department heads that we missed on the agenda? Well, then I guess it's you, Helen.
All right, position report. We are looking to fill a position at the Youth Assessment Center. We have someone who's going out to a different career field. So we have an opening at the end of the month.
A move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Roll call.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes,
Bo?
Yes.
carried.
I have an update for you on another item. The North Dakota Century Code, when a community has an extraterritorial jurisdiction and ETJ, there is some Century Code wording that dictates by population that folks from the ETJ get representation on that planning and zoning board. So we appoint a couple of people to the city planning and zoning board. By we, I mean you all, of course. Because we had some population changes, those guidelines, we have to, by population, the numbers are set for how many people on these boards. And so we are in the process of talking with both Tioga and the city of Williston about what the Century Code tells us the county should be doing related to membership on those boards. There is some disagreement at this point among attorneys, and so Karen is working with the representatives to sort through that. I'll give you updates as we have them. We'll see where it goes. But in case you heard from any of those elected officials, we've sent letters, we've had conversations, so that's ongoing, both Tioga and the city of Williston. And then I think it's just worth mentioning that we had a big storm, maybe you're aware, over the weekend, and we and we had a lot of staff who continued to work. We have a policy that dictates how we close buildings, and we did go through that process on Wednesday. The policy says it involves the sheriff, county commissioners, and the emergency manager. And so we did decide to close buildings at the end of the day on Wednesday, and we're closed all of Thursday, which I think we all probably feel like was a good choice. We tend not to make those decisions, and in part, I say this as much for the public as for you, because I think you all know, as we shut down our buildings, we have a great impact on other agencies. We know that on Wednesday, we had some things going on in the courthouse that really needed to continue. There was a civil jury trial, and there were some other important hearings going on, and so we have to be real thoughtful about how we do that and the impacts that we have. But we had a lot of staff who continued to work, even though some folks were home digging out their place. We have those folks at County Highway who were out keeping the roads clear. They worked a lot of hours over the last week to make sure that folks could get where they needed to go. Hopefully, they were staying home, but we know people had to get out and about. There's some essential and emergency travel. Our facilities department is always here. They're keeping our parking lots and our buildings safe, and part of that is because we've got folks working 24/7. Youth Assessment Center, corrections, law enforcement, emergency management. They're all working through any.
Stayed through the storm and got us through and kept the roads open. That was huge. Other thing, don't forget to get over to the ARC today. District 7 elections for anybody with school district kids or that are in school District 7. The election to replace the open position is today. Anybody got anything else? Sure, if you push the button.
Might be a Karen question. Seems like our commission meetings are ending earlier nowadays. Is there any possibility that we could move the park board meetings up to 9 instead of 9:30? And if the commission meetings in the past, I know when we used to have commission meetings, Barry, you remember, park board meetings were at 7 and then the commission was at 8, and if it ran through, they waited. So I guess I'm saying this more for Bo and Barry's sake, that they don't have to sit around for an hour, hour and a half every time we have a park board meeting.
Sure you can, but that would be up to the park board to do that, so, yeah.
Okay, that was an easy answer. Thanks, Karen. Just a minute, we have Helen coming back. We're gonna lengthen this meeting, David, thanks.
But maybe underlying your question was, does it change it from regular meeting to special meeting status?
No, it doesn't.
If you
It's
change,
only if you change the date.
yeah, so a time change does not affect the annual schedule.
No, but if the park board is gonna change it from 9 o'clock, from 9:30 to 9:30 the rest of the year, then we probably should just post a brand-new schedule, really. An amended schedule, I guess, really. Yep. Or the park board should, yes.
Okay, sounds good. We are adjourned.